How to prepare your child for adolescence. There are certain conversations you should have with your child before they turn into adolescent age, 12, 13, 14. There are certain things you should have told them. There are conversations that should have happened before they hit 13, before they hit 14. So what are those conversations? These are the things we're going to talk about in this video. Number one, conversations about puberty. It shouldn't even be that teenhood or preparing them for adolescence is the first time you'd mention these things to them. It should have been an ongoing conversation right from when they are kids. There are age-appropriate knowledge, age-appropriate sex education that they should have gotten from the time they are 4, 5, 6, and so on before they hit 14, 13. So if you fail to do that, you would definitely be playing into the hands of chances because you are leaving social media, you're leaving the internet, you're leaving their their peer groups to teach them those things that you are feeling to teach them. So talk to them about puberty. What should they expect? What should they expect about their body, about their emotions, about their experiences as they keep growing, as they turn into a teenager, as they approach adolescence. Those will prepare them so that they won't get a shock of their life, so that they won't fall victims of some of the challenges of adolescence when they meet them. Number two, talk to them about health. Now, it's also connected with puberty because you're supposed to talk to your children about how to take care of themselves. Now, I get it that we do this once in a while. Maybe when you see their clothes on the floor and you say, why not pick your clothes? You don't want to be a dirty girl. So pick your clothes, put it in the right place. Don't litter your clothes. Keep your closet clean and all of those. They are nice. But it's different from when you intentionally call them, sit them down, and have those conversations with them. It's entirely different. And those are the kind of conversations that really get driven down their memory, so they won't ever forget it. They will know, oh, mommy told me that if I expose my panties they would get infected. She told me that if I expose my, so you're guiding them clearly on health practices. Tell them things they should start practicing and things they shouldn't ever do because of their health. So that's it. So I recently spoke with someone who was expressing to me how concerned and shocked, in fact, she was about an experience she had recently where she saw certain groups of teenagers watching adult movies, adult videos, like we'll call it. I was shocked at her shock. And I told her, I'm shocked that you're shocked because it's a normal thing. When parents will hand over devices in their numbers, laptop, tablet, phones, to their teenagers without preparing them for what they're going to encounter online, what do you expect? So, are you a parent and you hand over devices, gadgets to your teenagers, to your preteen, in the name of learning, enhancing their learning, in the name of helping them, which I get it. It's awesome to get them those devices that help them to, learn and prepare themselves for the world that they're going to meet tomorrow. However, there are certain conversations and preparations that should come ahead of giving them those. So, for instance, they should know things like cyberbully, they should know things like cybersecurity, they should know things like the boundaries and how not to share their information with strangers and how not to connect with the wrong people online, how not to get into the wrong circles online, so that tomorrow you won't get your teenager lost doing things that you can never imagine. So it's important that before you hand your teenager a device, a gadget, you sit them down and have conversations on what they should do and what they should not do. And also set boundary around it. Set boundaries. For instance, what time are they supposed to not use the devices? What time are they supposed, how long are they supposed to not use it? And how long are they supposed to, what are other things they could do that they could, what are other ways that they could get their jobs done without necessarily having to use their devices? So when we do that, we notice that you are helping them to not stay too much exposed to their laptops, to their screens, and you are also helping them to stay away from addiction, device addiction, because that's a predominant thing that's happening in generation, right? In this generation. So you want to prepare your teenager, you want to prepare your preteen before you hand them their first gadget, before you hand them their first, before you open them up to the internet to, you know, peruse and scroll through and, you know, get information out there. Next thing that you need to teach your child before they turn into adolescence is identity and self-expression. So they need to know what their identity is. They need to understand that this is who I am, this is what I do. I am this, you know, in a world where there's a lot of madness out there, you know, people saying stuff and doing things. You need to completely help your children, school them on who they are. Let them understand that this is who I am, this is where I'm coming from, this is what I represent, this is what I believe in. Get them rooted in that belief, get them rooted in the right values that they're supposed to have, what their identity, you know, is, so that they will always lean on that side. So you don't find tomorrow that you're raising a total stranger in your house. Another thing is to teach them values. You need to put in the right values into your adolescents, into your child before they turn into teenagers. Put in the right values in the right place. Values like discipline, values like self-respect, values like hard work, values like self contentment. So contentment is a big deal. All these are important that you drive them down even while they are still growing up, so that when they wake up they'll realize that everything is in its place. I have a life that is full. I have a life that is well integrated. For instance, self-respect, value like self-respect. It is self When a teenager goes by the value of self-respect, they would not do the same thing they would avoid doing when others are watching. For instance, if they can't do something just because mommy is there, daddy is there, then self-respect demands that when you are there, you shouldn't also do it. So you shouldn't respect others and fail to respect yourself. You shouldn't respect others and not do something, but when you're there watching, you do it. That's self-disrespect. So you need to teach them and prepare them with the necessary values that you want them to uphold as they grow, as they go, go on their journey to adulthood. So those and many more are some of the values that you can put in your teenagers, put in your children as they grow up. Another important thing you should teach your child before they turn into a teenager is boundaries. Setting boundaries. So they need to know what their boundaries are and know where to draw the line. In fact, you also need to exemplify it, model it, know where to, when you are crossing the boundaries, you apologize and let them know, oh, I crossed your boundaries, so I'm apologizing for this, so that they don't expect people to cross their boundaries and tolerate it. For instance, how is someone not supposed to hug you? Where are people not supposed to touch you? Those are your personal boundaries. Another example is, where do your personal belongings, when you want to give it to someone or when someone wants to take what belongs to you, how are they supposed to do that? Are they supposed to obtain permission before they use your things? So they know that, yes, those are possibilities, those are boundaries. How should they not also trespass to get into other people's boundary or cross other people's boundaries? So they need to pretty much understand boundaries so that they can practice it, avoid crossing other people's boundaries, and also call people out respectfully when they cross their own boundaries. So this way you're preparing them for adult life, because you will live in a crazy world where there are a lot of people roaming about, crossing people's boundaries, stepping onto people's toes, and need to be called out on it. So you need to train your teenagers to be that firm person, but at the same time being responsible and respectful. So I've put together a lot of other things that you need to teach your child before they turn into adolescence in a PDF format. And I want you to download it right here. These points that I've shared with you, you'll find them there, and you'll find a lot more points and things you can do, practice, experience in order to have a better relationship with your teenager and in order to raise a more balanced teenager. I wish you the best in your journey of parenting. My name again is Precious Flourish Ifani, and I'm a teens coach.